Chapter 32. It isn't long before Dell's Ford swerves into the parking lot. He gets out of his car as if his hair is on fire. I should be freaking out like Dell, but I find myself mimicking Patty's attitude. My edges are gone. I'm sea glass. If you look hard, you can see right through me. There isn't much discussion. Patty and I get in Dell's car and we drive across town. 10 minutes later, we arrive at 257 Heptade Lane. I look up at the apartment house. It appears to be a building constructed by a blind contractor who didn't use an architect. The proportions of the place are all off, and not in a provocative way. It looks like someone took an enormous box, painted the color of Serratia marsans, which is a rod-shaped pink bacterium that grows in showers, and cut holes in the sides. I'm somehow not surprised that Del Duke lives here. We follow the counselor up a dark stairwell to the second floor, where he opens a door. He's mumbling now. I wasn't expecting company. I'm not prepared for visitors. I need to put a few things away. He then quickly shoots like a trained hamster through a crazy maze of stuff. We hear a door shut in an unseen hallway. I wonder what he needs to hide, because there is enough here in his living room that should mortify him. Del Duke is obviously one of those people who have issues throwing things away. Maybe he doesn't have full-blown disposophobia, which is hoarding, but he's on the same playing field. The old me would have taken a lot of pleasure in a first-hand look at such a complex emotional condition, but not now. Patty and I stand in the entry and stare at the stacks of newspapers, magazines, and mail surrounding the discount lawn furniture, which I decide is the exact color of a white rabbit's eyes, pink with the drop of yellow mixed in. The complete patio set, called Masculine Salmon, on a manufacturer's tag sticking out from one of the cheap metal chairs, has cut distinct circles in the wall-to-wall carpeting. I step deeper into the room so that Patty can close the door, and I find myself next to an outdoor umbrella still encased in cloudy plastic. It is propped up against the wall. I feel its sadness. I trail behind Patty down a narrow path to the kitchen. Towers of sloppily rinsed microwave trays are on most of the counters. Off to the side, I see teetering columns of red disposable cups. I realize that I have not had great exposure to other people's ways of living. I had never seen the kind of garage setup that the Nugents have going, and looking at this place, I understand there are clearly whole lifestyles that have been kept from me. Del Duke is charting a different course. If this is what he has in the open, I'm now curious to look in what is in one of his closets. Patty must have the same thought, because she moves out of the kitchen, through the clutter of the living room, back to the tight hallway. I follow, but with some caution. This looks like the kind of place where an unexpected exotic animal might appear, the illegal kind that people buy on a whim in the back rooms of pet stores, but then later set free in an alley because they can't control the razor-sharp claws or the eating demands. The door to the first bedroom is closed, but that doesn't stop Patty from turning the knob and opening it. We both now see Del stuffing an oily-looking sleeping bag into a nylon sack. But there are no dead bodies or anything, at least not in plain sight. It's just a super messy room. Comic books and magazines are strewn next to the bed, which doesn't have sheets or a mattress pad. The necks of empty wine bottles poke out of a metal garbage can, the sort that should be outside, in the corner. It only takes an instant for Patty to find the handle on the closet door. Del shouts, "No!" But it's too late. Patty has opened the lavabo door to reveal a wall of underwear. There are hundreds of them. I used to enjoy estimating quantities, but not anymore. I know with certainty that in the past this would have really interested me. Patty steps back as Del sputters, "I'm behind on the laundry." This is truly an understatement. Patty looks from Del to the underwear and then to me. It seems obvious there is no way that it could ever appear that Patty and her kids live in this apartment. but I'm wrong. I'm not sure what flipped her switch, but maybe it's the size of the challenge. We are back in Dell's dusty Ford, now heading, under Patty's direction, to the Salvation Army on Ming Street. Minutes later, we all stand at the front counter of the secondhand store. Patty has picked out a red Formica table with 4 nondescript dining chairs, a stuffed lemon-colored sofa, and a leather lounger that swivels in a complete circle. She has the tags for a metal frame bunk bed with mattresses that appears to at one time have belonged to a military enthusiast. Worn Semper Fi stickers cover most of the railings. It isn't until Dell's credit card is out that he has the courage to ask, "How are we going to get all this stuff back to my place?" Patty, without explanation, heads straight out the glass door to the sidewalk, leaving Dell to complete the transaction. Dell and I find her standing outside at the curb next to a truck that says "We Haul." The 2 men who got out to help us are named Esteban and Louis. They have well-developed packing skills. It doesn't take them long until they have all the furniture tied down into the back of the very long worn pickup. Upon arrival at the Gardens of Glenwood, the 2 men carry everything up the flight of stairs to Dell's apartment without even breaking a sweat. Patty supervises. Dell stays out of the way. I'm the silent observer. Now all we have to do is get rid of his junk. Patty thrusts a detailed list into Dell's hand and orders him to the market. Once he is gone, she positions me with Louis and Esteban in a line where we form a human chain. There are only 4 of us, but using this ancient means of transport, months of trash leaves the building. Dell returns 2 hours later, and most of his stuff is now in the building dumpsters. He says it was his plan to take it to the recycling center, but I know that he's lying. He doesn't seem upset that we got rid of his things, so I guess he's not a hoarder. He just has trouble with follow-through.